Okay. Okay, let's get started. We are half an hour late because Unity and Blender decided to take a long time to load, and then my entire version control system broke, which is not good. But that's fixed now, so we can get straight into it. Today, we're just going to be working on some more animations, and fixing up some animations that we did last stream. What I want to do today is prioritize as many animations as possible. So we'll be starting with fixing the running animation, adding a jump and a falling animation. And after that, we need to make aiming animation, so actually picking up the capsule with your slime and it throwing it and stuff. That is going to take a little bit more work. We're going to need to actually make the capsule 3D model, so we'll do that before we get into those animations. But for now, let's start by fixing our running animation. And what we want to do first is, I'm just going to delete this because I'm going to actually import in the running animation that we made, which is in our art assets folder. So give me a second for that. This definitely would have been easier if we had saved these as actions, because then we could hot swap between them. But right now, we didn't do that, so we're just going to import it here. And I think we might need to move this over. Gee, sorry, let's... Okay, no, this is fine. Okay. So, let's first have a look at what this animation looks like. So let's hide the character model. And we can see here it's quite high. The arm is pretty much reaching up here. And if we go back into Unity, just to check, because I believe the arm is pushed back in Unity. So, like here you can see it's pretty much reaching that same area in on the camera. But if we go into the scene view, the arms here are in a very different position. I'm not sure why we lost our animation, or our material though for that. Let's fix that. Oh. It's just straight up missing everything again. Of course it is. This is what happens when your version control system just completely bricks itself. I didn't really lose any progress, but it also just completely didn't save some of this stuff. So let's make sure this is actually checked out. Give me a second. The materials just don't want to count as part. Okay, we might need to reconnect. Okay, let's quickly just reconnect because we need to make sure version control is working. Otherwise, things break very quickly. Okay, let's see if that works. Nope. sure why it's not connecting. Just trying to figure out why it's not letting me connect. I think it's just my password, but I don't know why it's gotta be a pain right now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't need a password. I don't know why this isn't working. Okay, there we go. Now we got that working. We can get back into this, and now we can actually make sure these are definitely added there. Cool. Okay, so as we can see here, the arms are further back, right? They're in the center of the capsule, and yet we're getting about the same arm position. So what I want to do is I want to see what would happen if we moved this to the center and see if that changes the animation or if that's still right. Because that, to me, is way closer, which is telling me that potentially the camera itself is wrong. But I'm not too sure why. Because they're both at the exact same point, 0, 0, 1.39. And they have the same field of view, 60 degrees. And that is 60 degrees field of view. So I really don't know what is happening there. Because we can animate it like this, so it's not really a problem. But we're getting basically completely different results in Blender than we are in Unity, because the arms are further forward than what they should be. Not sure if I'm going to be able to try to pause this as the arm swings up. We can try. It's very laggy. And oh. Let's try that again. No, it's not going to let me pause it while I'm holding shift. I mean, we can clearly tell that the animation's wrong, so I don't know exactly how to fix that. Like, the only real fix, technically, would be moving the camera back, but neither of... Like, we shouldn't have to put the camera back or the arms forward, so I don't know why that's not working. Like, unless there's a scale issue, which there shouldn't be. So scaled to 1. But you can kind of see like the angle there. I mean, that's a very far range at 1,000, which is what we have on the clip range. Because we can size this up to like 10 as an example, but it's still gonna look the exact same. So it does not matter there. It is on field of view, which is what we want. Like 60 mils here just zooms it in, so that's even worse. Definitely not what we want there. Those are the sensor size? That might be it, actually. Okay. I mean, let's see what that looks like. Okay, that's clearly wrong. I don't know why the shoulders are moving forward though. Are they? Yeah, the shoulders are moving forward. I don't know what's happening there. Okay. Let's just fix this for a second. Bring that back to 24, which I think is what it was on. We can just control Z. 36. Okay. So we moved the root, but we didn't animate root itself, did we? We shouldn't have, at least. I think it might have just automatically did that because we might have been in object mode or something. We delete them. There we go. That's good. And let's go ahead and save this. course it's not writable. Let's try that now. It's just not writable. I don't know why all my stuff has to just keep breaking. Just want to make animations and I can't even save my Blender file. Let's try it again. Version backup failed, of course it did. Because everything in version control requires it being checked out because Perforce is the worst program imaginable. Okay. Well, we have the arms not moving forward now, so that's good. Now we can zoom out here and let's check the sensor again. And let's also have a look if there's anything like a sensor option in here. I doubt it. Doesn't look like it. Okay. So we can just up the sensor to 100 mils. And now you're getting pretty much that same height level. Let's see if it's the same like thinness of the arms, because that'll tell us if it's doing a weird any weird tricks or sizing. Because yeah, like here you can see very clearly the arms are like thicker, I feel like than this, because you're not even seeing the shoulder. So clearly 100 mils is wrong. Let's see if we can lower the sensor range maybe just a bit. Oh, the focal length is back to millimeters. I don't know what's going on there. 60 field of view. Okay, let's check that again. Right. 100 mil, 60 field of view. Okay, no, I don't think size does anything. So that's clearly not it. Because it's basically size is just changing the field of view, which must be 60, because that's what we have it in Unity. So if that's not it, I don't know what is. Okay, yeah, because field of view just does the exact same thing. So that does not matter. Sizing, it's not going to do anything because it's the same angles. What? Why is saving not working again? I don't know why this keeps... Hold up. We're just going to restart Blender and actually open the file that I want to open, because it keeps reverting to a whole different workspace because of version control, which again, don't use Perforce. This sucks. Okay, Here we go. It's not even saved our stuff again. So, if we want the root that's not have any animation attached to it, and that way we can set this to 0, which is what it should be on. And of course the animation is wrong, so we have to re-import again our actual animation for running. So let's do that. There we go. And now we can just select the root object, delete all of the animation. Oh, I don't want any of that. I just want the root object. Why is this not working? No, because it's saving everything under root again. Let's grab the actual root bone, I guess, because clearly it doesn't want to let me grab it from object mode. I think that should be fine. Let's move this to 0. Yeah, that works fine. Okay. So yeah, we have our issue of the camera, which, let's just make sure all of this is set still, which it is. The arms are just way too close. But we're using the same field of view, so that's not it. And the root position is the same. We can see it here in scene view, and we go to the placeholder arms here. It's having it set at -0.25, but then at 0 there, when it should be zeroed out here. So that's a bit confusing, because this is clearly zeroed out, but for this one, it's saying 0 is in the center of the capsule. Oh, sorry, 0 is at the front over here. I wanted to make animations today, and we're already half an hour in, and we have arms that aren't even working correctly, so this is fun. Like, we can try moving... We can try, like, just setting the scale or something. Because the scale is technically kind of wrong. I mean, okay, we can set the root is at -0.28. So basically, if this is at a y of 0, the root should be at a z of 0. Like that. Okay. Let's just see what that does when running. It's moving the shoulders forward, because of course it is. Yeah, something's clearly wrong with our export. I don't know why it just has to always break, because something is very clearly wrong. So I mean, if we just applied all the transforms. Oh, that breaks everything, actually. Oh, that's just wrong. I don't know why this isn't working. Honestly, I feel like it's just going to be easier to completely restart and go with the new ARM model that actually works, because this has just been horrible as an experience, frankly. Like I thought we already made the bones. Always in fun. I don't know. I really don't. Because the arms are in the wrong position. And the camera's at the wrong, like, field of view or something. I really do not know. And for some reason, these are just being applied completely separately. And, like, we can't move their position. Because when you actually hit play, it just moves them straight back. Like that. Which is completely useless to us. And I can move just the overall thing back. Like that. But then when we hit play, I mean, it's just wrong. Like, this doesn't look too bad, right? The arms do come in, but they're not, like, insanely thick. But then when we go into Blender, and we hit play, I mean, your entire screen is just hand. Like, you don't even have the forearm. And I don't get that. I don't know why that's happening. Because it should be the same camera, the exact same camera. Unless this is... I mean, okay, maybe it's like that, I guess. So, you use a vertical sensor, but 60 field of view on vertical. I think that's more accurate, right? Like, if we hit play here, you're seeing pretty much the end of the thickest part of the forearm. And here you're pretty much seeing about that same area. Okay. I think that's more accurate. Then what we also need to do is figure out the export of this. Because if I export this like that, it might break. So we'll have to look into that. For now, just because I want to like get into some animation, let's go ahead and do all the fixes that I wanted to do, which is going to be moving the arms here down. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to go over to the graph editor. We're going to only show Z movement, and we're going to be doing that just for the arms here. and we just want the, actually it's not even the Z location as much as it's the rotation of the shoulders, I think. So we can go here, and this is the X rotation. And let's just make sure that, oh yeah, all of them here. Is this all of it? I mean, that's frame 4, okay. That does look to be all of it. Oh, what am I doing? But it doesn't look like there's much movement. Like, right here, it's kind of in a peak movement. So we can zoom in here, but there's no difference. Oh, that's location, sorry. Let's go rotation, there we go. So looks like Y rotation would help. So if we grabbed both of these, and let's just, we just want to bring that down basically, so we can move it down, center the camera view down just about here. So I think keeping it like below the halfway mark would be good. So something like that. Sorry, I'm just trying to get that same movement. Here we go. We can go 0.22, 0.1. That way we can just easily copy this. 22.1. We're going to be going over onto this side, and we're going to do the exact same thing. 0.22, 0.1. Okay. Now it is bugging out here a bit because that third one is lower. So we just want to move that up just a little bit. We can maybe go point. We'll go 0.05, and we'll do that back on this side if needed. Doesn't look like it is. Let's see if that works. A little bit better. Let's see why. Maybe instead of the forearm, the shoulder, sorry, we focus on the forearm. Let's see what that does. So it's not going to be that one. Not X rotation. Here we go. So yep, Y rotation. So at its peak here. Maybe we just don't want it rotated as much. Honestly, this might be easier outside of the graph editor because this is just not working. So here, rotate it so that it's not above halfway. Oh, and make sure that we're actually saving keyframes. That would be smart. Okay, let's copy this frame, and we can paste that on frame 18. Frame 17 will also just drop a bit. See what that looks like. It's a bit stiff, and that's probably because this is kind of going horizontal towards the end there, like an unnatural swinging up and then just flat. So we can fix that by rotating this one just to the right a bit and a little bit down. I think that's fine. We can also rotate this more to the right. We can copy those frames. Let's see what that looks like. Not too bad. There's this unnatural frame here, so we'll fix that. We just move this a little to the right, a little bit down. And that looks fine. I think maybe just don't have it as bent in. There's no real need for it to be that bent in. So there, swings down, and then swings back up, to which we're going to copy that, and then just fix same swing level. And I also do kind of want to move this up a bit because it's kind of swinging really fast here and then too slow on the right. Here, swings up and down. We don't need all of these frames. I don't know why it has so many. Because I don't remember adding a frame literally every frame, so I don't know what's going on there. There. And a little bit more. I think something like that is fine, and then you can kind of just delete these keyframes. Just space that out. I think that's better, definitely better than the one on the left, so that's good. Okay, then let's go ahead and handle the left arm, which, again, we're going to start with the forearm. We just don't want it so high, right? Here's better, so on its peak, which is frame 9, we want to lower that by a decent chunk, something like that. And we can also move it a little bit more just to the left. So then make sure all of it's sticking towards the left and not super high. Bring that down. Bring that to the right. Okay, and let's do the same thing we did on this shoulder. So we're going to delete frame 6, 8, and 9. And we're also going to delete 12, 13, 14. I think this is just going to be due to the way it was imported. That would be my best get, at least. So now goes from here, swinging up. That's taken a while to go back down, which is fine. And as it goes down, we also want to kind of space that out a bit more. Let's just see what that looks like without the bones. It's a bit jaggedy. I mean, I think honestly, we're also having the issue of we're animating on 24 frames a second, which isn't great for a video game. So we're just running into like very clear frames. I don't think there's much we can do about that, and I honestly don't care because it's gonna be replaced, right? This is all placeholder animation, so it is not that bad. And I have to go check everything out before I can save it, because of course I do. There we go. And then we should hopefully be able to now just delete running animation and re-import it. Make sure the animator is still attached, which I think it is. Let's see if that works. Hopefully it does. I'm not seeing any animation, which is not great, but that could just be things bugging out a bit. I can't tell. Let's have a look here. Okay, so that's the idle animation, and that's no animation. So these two are both wrong. Okay, let's just delete that. I don't know why that exported like that. Oh, now I do. What? Just the complete animation just got deleted somehow. Okay, animation's good. Select hierarchy, export as an FBX into running animation, and let's re-import that into Unity. Should be fine. That's not it. No, the clips are wrong again, and now the animation's frozen. What is going on? You can check out the action editor. There's like two actions here. Okay. So basically it's kind of trying to overwrite things right now. We don't want that. But it's forcing us into it. Which is a bit confusing, because why is it not saving then? It's like it's only saving left upper arm for some reason. For this action at the very least. Okay, that's frozen again. So I can't delete this. We can call this action something. I don't know what's going on though. This slot identifies which subset of the action is considered to be for this data block. Whatever that means. No. Get the animation out of this. I just want the animation. Why can't I have the animation? Merge animation. NLA strips cannot be merged. That's fine because I don't want any actions in the first place. Like, I don't know why we have actions. That's the dumb thing. I don't want actions. And for some reason, it's only the left upper arm. That does not make any sense. Let's have a look. I've never really used Action Editor much before. I really hate it. The last time I used it, it broke everything, which is why I don't use it. It's why I never saved anything as an action, so I don't know why it's now all of a sudden going and telling me that I have, or that it's being used. I don't get that. Because we can't remove it. That's the weird thing. Unlink action, and all of a sudden the animation is gone. Which doesn't make any sense. Like it looks to me like everything's tied to root action, which I guess. But like, I mean, if I called this running anim. Right, and we can just grab all of that, select the hierarchy, and export this as an FBX. It's not going to work. That's just what I don't get. Is we want the animation, fine, keep the NLA strips because why not, I guess. I mean, we can try no strips, no actions, just the animation. I don't think that's going to work, but we can try it. I mean, it's animated. We just call this running anim, I guess. Apply that. We can check this out and give it the running animation. Give that a space, running space anim. Okay. Let's see if that works. That does work. Great. We just need to loop it, which is fine. There we go. Ooh. I don't like how, like, sharp. I don't even know how to describe that right arm. And all of it, in fairness, but that right arm is really janky. Let's have a look. Is it like that? I feel like it's not as bad here. Maybe it is. Well, actually, this frame's entirely wrong. It should be this frame, but then we should move it here. we can just delete frame 17. Oh, okay, definitely want frame 17. That's where a lot of the height comes from. We delete that. I think this will be fine. I think if we did this, it'll look just a little bit better. And then we can get rid of the animation entirely and work on the jumping animation, which I would like to do because this has been a horrible, horrible experience. Go, call it running anim. Make sure it's attached here, which it is. And let's just see if the right arm is a little bit better. And make sure it's looping. That would be smart. There we go. I don't know, it's marginally better. Marginally better, but it'll do for now. Now we can just get rid of all of these, because I really hate these actions. I don't know if there's a way for me to delete, actually. Blender file. Actions. Okay. Let's just delete those actions, because we do not want them, do not care for them. Let's reset the animation. There we go. Okay, all reset. So we want to make a jumping animation. For jumping, we're gonna have two separate animations. One, arms go up, and then the second one's the falling animation, where your arms are basically just hovering in front of you. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. So what we need to do first then is... honestly, it might be best, now that I'm thinking about it, to go... Oh, wait, why does it have actions again? We deleted the actions. What is going on? I don't want an action. Okay. Grab everything. Okay, it's gonna make a default rotation, which is fine as long as it's not... as long as it's not gonna break. Okay. So what we want to do then, I'm thinking it might be worth going to 60 frames a second. Because if we're animating on 60 frames a second, it's just gonna be smoother. And if it is smoother, then it'll be it'll just look better. So it'll be in scene. Is it in render? Might be render, yeah. Frame rate 60. Now, I don't think that's right. How do I change the frame rate entirely? So that's clearly longer than a second, right? So you need to change the animation frame rate itself, not this frame rate. Okay, no, it's not in preferences. Where is it? Is that 1 second? I honestly can't even tell. I mean, easiest way to tell, I guess, would be 24 times 10. Alright. Okay. I think it's running at 60 frames a second. Okay. Let's animate this. So, what we need to do is have the arms pretty much launch up pretty quickly, right? So, probably about 15 frames or so. So, let's do that. And we're just getting the key pose for now. So, we're going to rotate both of these up. And at frame 40, we will kind of drop it. Right, it goes up and let's move that to like 25. Let's move that up as well. Clip that at frame 40. Okay, we can try 50 frames, I think. So it goes up. Now, what we need to do is actually move this all in, so it's actually in camera view. So something like that. And just move the shoulders in. Now, what we do need to do is we need to twist the entire forearm and then the wrist. This way. Because when you jump, your arms are kind of pointing down, like your palms, so just twist this a bit, like so, and you can just do something like that. Launches up. Let's see what that looks like without the bones. Okay. Now let's go ahead and do something with the hands, just to give it some form of movement. We can go like frame. Maybe frame, let's say 18 or so. And then as it settles on frame 40, we do that. And let's move it inwards. And we can also frame, freeze this here on all of the finger bones, sorry. We'll do the same thing on these finger bones as well. We're going to set the keyframe, and then on frame 40, pretty much all of the bones are just going to relax a little. So here we're going to rotate on the Z, local Z, just a little bit. Here. Really just rotate that. This one, we just need to keep control of the pinky because that one keeps moving a ton. And then we'll do the same thing on these fingers. So we'll go local Z, just to lower them, and here, lower. And again, keep control of the pinky so that it's not looking broken. And when we play that now, you know, the finger's just a little bit better. And our frames are stopping at frame, is it frame 45? For the shoulder, frame 40. So we'll end this at frame 40 as well. So you jump. I would say, I think the arms need to be a little bit straighter, to be honest. So what we'll do is we'll move these further in, but then move the actual arm itself further out. To frame 20. So like that. Okay, launch up. And I think resting a little bit further out would be fine. Or like on an angle. Just like that. And a little bit out like so. I think that looks pretty decent. I mean, hands go up and then calmly kind of drop. I think maybe we raise the arms a little bit higher though. Like here, so there. And also if we do get everything on the left arm, and what we can do is we can just offset the animation by a couple frames, like 2 frames there. And when you look at that now, okay, we'll go 1 frame. Okay, I think maybe a little bit more sideways. I don't know what the best way to do this would be. Because you can basically either rotate forearm that way to make it look more horizontal, or just rotate, like have these straighter and rotate it like that, which I think, no, yeah, I think that definitely looks worse. So up. I think this will be fine. We can try using the dope sheet, using the action editor. We can try it, right? Don't know how good it will be. This should be called jump action. Jump anim. And then presumably I can just add and then unlink and create a new action. Call this one falling, I guess. And we'll go to jump action, save it frame 40. And this will be the action that we're starting with. So let's set a keyframe here. Yep, okay. And now we just basically hold this position for 40 frames or so, right? So let's go back to the timeline. We can try 60 frames, like a full 1 second animation loop. I think that'd be fine. Which basically just means we're going to copy and paste the frames to frame 61 so that it's a perfect loop. And then about halfway through, let's just have, you know, the arm rotate just a little bit. Maybe this one goes down instead. And frame 45, we can also bring these up, and frame 50. And we don't want as much of a difference, so let's just make them a little bit less. I honestly don't even know if we need all of that. Frankly, honestly, I think maybe just that would be fine. Okay. So we have that. Then we want to do some slight sway on the arm. Something like that. Something on the wrists will move for frame 30. Something there. Definitely move the wrists up. And this one we can kind of have the same direction. I think that's fine. I feel like the arms need a lot more left to right sway. I just don't know. I don't know. I feel like the frame rate, not frame rate, the FOV honestly is not super helpful for us. Like, 60 frames. I mean, I sometimes play games on 90, but we're running on 60. It's just what we'll be using, so I guess we're stuck with it. I mean, this is clearly moving in the same direction, so we need to change that. Okay. And what we do is we'll just grab everything here and we'll move it to 25. Well, everything on this side here will run on frame 35. There. That keeps it kind of on a slight offset, which is good. I think the wrists here don't need to rotate as much. It's actually on these two that we need to move it up. There we go. And we can probably have it a bit more there. If I move that to frame 20 and add another one on frame 30. Maybe 35. 40. Let's go here. There we go. We just go little movements here and there. Oh, that just looks wrong. I don't know why. Like, it's very sharp. I feel like the only reason would be that it has the wrong interpolation or something. I mean, if we go pure linear, that's very sharp, and then pure Bezier is smoother. Constant's definitely not it. I feel like we should be moving these arms more. Like something here. Like, it feels like it's just an issue of it not moving as much, but then when you make it move, it's very weird. So we definitely don't want that much movement. So the other option then would be to essentially go everything over here, not this bone, everything on these frames, move over to the right, and then effectively do the opposite. Because now we have a lot more movement to swing left. Same thing on this side. What I don't get is at this very start, like, it looks like it pulls back up and then stops and then pulls back. Which kind of just tells me that this is a bit too much. So we can make that a little bit lower. And change the frame rate here. You know, move these frames around. Most of the hand bone frames. What happened to there? They had an animation. Interesting. Okay, let's go like 20. 30. And 40. Don't even know if that did much. We can do something similar on this side. I think like frame 20, just to give it like a little bit of movement. Frame 30, we can even move this up. And then frame 45, move these down. Yeah, like my issue is that it doesn't look continuous. Like it looks like it stops. Which, not too sure why, frankly. Like, freeze. Like, it's just gotta be that it's too smooth. So what we can do then, one way to make this a little bit cleaner would be go to the graph editor, grab pretty much every bone, and go frame 0, interpolation mode linear, and frame 60, interpolation mode linear. I think that's a little bit better. And if we go just linear for... No, I really can't tell, honestly. I don't think it's much better, frankly. I think we definitely need a lot more vertical movement, so let's do that. We can go from shoulders out. Same thing here. Ooh. Let's go back to the dope sheet. Oh no, timeline. About here. We want to raise this up. Have it go even lower. The wrist we can have further in. Let's copy that over to frame 61. Frame 25. Even 46. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know why, like, it just looks wrong. I don't know why it's so sharp. Like, to me, the only reason why it would be this sharp is that it's not interpolating like I want it to, but it's all on Bezier. Unless there's some other weird interpolation mode, which I don't think so. It could be easing, to be honest. I mean, if we go ease in versus ease out, no, doesn't look like that does much. The smoothie goes up here, which we should change that speed, I feel like. Up, down. Yeah. Let's check this one out. It's up and immediately drop, so we can try an in-betweener on like frame 27. Like that. And then the drop here, make it a little bit less. And then on frame 45, we can allow it to kind of ease down. It's better. It's not great, but better. Now we do the forearm. So forearm kind of needs to raise up higher. And then on frame 25, just a slight in between. And maybe we move that over 5 frames. And it swings down. And then move that up. So it swings down, a bit of a holder. And now it's like slamming into the yeah, no, that doesn't even look good. I don't know how to make looping animations look good. Maybe we go here, right? It's literally just up, down. Oh, wait, sorry, hold up. Grab everything, every frame. We can copy, paste it. Okay. Up, down, flat lines, to up, down again. Okay. Okay. I think it just shouldn't be as high, maybe. Like, go up. And then a few frames later. And then here we don't want it as low. And then move the shoulders so that it's not dropping as much. I feel like that's better. I don't know about good. Definitely better. So then as this goes up, really we should be moving this wrist up a lot higher. Arms going up. Wrist goes down. You can hold them for a few frames. Something like that. I feel like it's better, right? And we can do something similar on the left wrist. As it goes up. And then as the body goes down, it goes lower. And then what we do is we'll just save here. Go even higher. Goes here. Goes even lower. Don't need to have it as low. Something like that. And really we want to be swinging just the whole wrist to the right. Like up, wrist goes out. Like so. And then wrist goes in. Let's see what that does. It's still so sharp, like it pauses. That's the issue. It just keeps pausing, right here, and then just drops. And it shouldn't. But if we move it like to the right, and then just feel like it looks weirder. I need to take a crash course in looping animations. Goes up. And then immediately goes down, right? So what we technically need is like on frame 38 or something. We want this to still be kind of more centered. Down. if it's even like lower. I think it's just like it has kind of a build up to it. Like if we went here something. There's still that level of goes up. I feel like that's better. We can do something similar on this end. We actually don't have much animated over here. That's not too bad. Like, it's definitely better. I feel like the arms look like they're sticking out more than they should. Let's not do that. Okay. And I'm not too sure. Like, I feel like the best method would be if everything just moved kind of to the right more. Like that. And the wrists just went in. Like, okay. Grab this. Everything to the right more. Grab this. Everything goes in. Yeah, I don't think I can animate it like that. Basically, I'm going to have to manually move all of these to the right. Unless I can edit them in Graph Editor, but because they're so minute, they're really hard to see, is the issue. Like, we can just go, I want the Z rotation, which I don't know which one that is. Maybe this one? It's hard to tell because it's so minute. I guess it's just so small of values. I don't think so. Not that one. Nope. Okay. A mix of Z and W, it looks like. Basically, all of it moved to the right. Which means move it up or down, sorry. Like that. And probably around the same thing here, maybe. Let's go get the rotations. Not that one. Okay, it's Z rotation. So grab all of the Z rotations, and this one we move out further. I feel like that's gonna look better. I think we need to go even further out by like a tick or so, and we definitely need to go kind of a tick up. So is Y rotation. Swing up. See what that looks like. Honestly, that's actually not the worst thing. Let's do the same thing on this side. So going to be the W rotation. Grab all of them. And we're going to move it. Okay, not just that one. WNZ, yep. And move it further in like that. And then on the left upper arm, we're going to just do, that one's just the Z. And we're going to stick it out like so. And then just the, maybe the Y. Yeah, just the Y, and move that there. Okay. It's not the worst. It does not look great. But again, in fairness, these are placeholder animations, so I'm not too worried about it. We'll try it. We'll see if it's any good or not. Because worst case scenario, we're just going to have to redo it anyways. But, so we got falling and we got our jump action. Which now needs to change because we've moved the position of the arms by quite a bit on frame 40. So what I want to do is rotate these arms, move them way far out, and then swing them back in. Up. Oh, that's all on frame 40. Yeah, that should be on frame 40. Okay. Let's go to the timeline. We're only on a 40 frame animation for this. Arms go up, come back down, and they're crossing here. So this is where we need to not have that happen. We don't want the hands crossing, so let's see why they are. Here we've got a duplicate frame on 39. So let's move that to 40. Up. So here we can even start moving the arms out already. Frame 20 for that one, yep. It's up. And then they still end up crossing here. So let's move this a bit. And on frame 32, let's also move some of these further out. Swing up. Like so. We're really wanting to stick the arms out. Because by the time they close in here, We really want these separated. There we go. Okay. That works. So now what we want to do is we're going to go to the action editor. We need to kind of be able to change how long these actions run for. I think this should be fine. If we now try to export this, let's see what that does. We call it jumping_nm. And this time we are actually bringing in all actions and the MLA strips. And let's see what happens when we import this. Here we go. So it should have two separate actions, jumping and falling, which it does. For falling, we're going to make that looping. And let's go ahead and create a new animation state here. We'll call this jump and falling. Make a transition from jump into falling into idle, like so. And I think that'll be fine. We might have a transition back, like straight back to jump, but straight back to idle, sorry, but we'll see. We'll leave it out for now. We'll see. But we'll create a new boolean for is has jump, I guess. And this will check has jumped. Then it will go straight into falling, which does not have any. Oh, sorry, this has exit time. This does not have any exit time. And idle to jump also has no exit time. And this transition will transition to idle if has jumped is false. Yeah, I think that is right. We'll see. I mean, we'll go ahead and connect it up now anyways. So let's open up our movement script and see what our janky animations look like before we end up remaking them all with also an actual arm rig that works a little bit nicer. So what we need to check for is the jumping, and pretty much over here we're just going to do the same thing that we did up for sprinting. When you jump, set has jump in the arms animator to false, so or to true first, sorry, which we can actually just put right there and go has jumped is true, and then we'll just copy that and simply put that to false after our 0.2 second timer. Let's see what that looks like. This is going to probably be very janky. Okay, so we can't actually even see it. Which I would assume is because it's trying to move arms or something. Here, let me get a scene view while we test this. Okay, yeah, the shoulders themselves are just like moving backwards for some reason. So we just need to deal with that. That's fine. Question is, why is that happening, I guess? Root's at 0, which it should be. We haven't applied any of the transforms, which breaks things, so we don't want to do that. I think we were doing like minus 0.25 for the other animation, so I think they're just stuck on that, maybe? We'll see, right? We'll re-export it with it pushed back. If that is the case, we'll just do that on each export, because again, I really don't want to I just don't want to deal with it. It's not like it's going to be complicated to fix, but why bother? Okay, just delete that. Falling, anim, and jumping. Anim. Go to the editor, make sure they're correct. Jumping, falling. Let's see if that works any differently. Let's go to game view. Well, works differently doesn't mean it works good, I guess. Oh, the animation itself is now just broken. I see. Let's see why. Falling animation is good. Jumping animation is there. So jump and transitions to falling. So that's fine. I don't know. Why does that happen? Like the arm just kind of... Oh, kind of T-poses. Okay. Interesting. That tells me that the animations are wrong. Let's just make sure these are correctly applied. And we look into them, right? This is jumping. Good. And then this is falling, so that should be fine. Then when we actually jump, though, it T-poses because it doesn't have an animation. What's wrong with the animation? Has jumped is set to true. And there is an animation there. Now what we can try is if we just disable the thing that's setting it to false, so that has jumped once it's on, it's on. It does not work. Okay. And it's still on a T-pose as well. Because of course it is. I'm very confused on why though. Like that should be fine. None of these loop, which is fine. It's just... we'll set falling to looping because it should be looping. What doesn't make sense though is just why it goes to a T-pose. Like even if we gave jumping a loop, like a good jumping animation, make that loop, when we hit play, this should not work. No, it's just a T-pose. You jump, then you do a T-pose. Like, to me, that just says the animation itself is wrong. It could be that it's setting it wrong. Here, we're gonna go create another Blender file. And I just want to quickly check if the animation here is fine. Okay. So let's set that the exact same value that the other animations are set to, which is actually set forward, not backwards. Make sure that we are bringing in all the actions, export that, head back into Unity. Let's just delete the jumping animation and re-import it, like so. Go falling anim, which should be looping, and then jumping anim, which should not loop. No, yeah, that's fine, and that's no loop. Great. Let's also remake these connections. That way it's perfectly clear that it should work. So we go jumping to falling, back to idle, and we jump when has jumped is set to true. We do not have any exit time. Then we will transition to falling animation through exit time, and then we will go if has jumped is false, no exit time. Let's see if this works. Hopefully it will. We jump. There we go. Okay. Now we go to game view. As we jump. And if we were to jump off of something higher, let's actually put the player on top of one of these pillars. Come on. Oh. Try and put the player on one center, not pivot. There we go. Okay. So when we jump off, very laggy. What is going on here? Okay, game view's bugging out, but we jump off. Okay. So what we should also be doing then is handling if we are grounded or not, which is up here in our is grounded check. And we will also add in our arms animator. And we'll just go is grounded to false. Here. And we'll add a new boolean for is grounded. Now, we do need a connection to running as well. So if you're running and you jump, we also want to make the jumping animation. So we'll just connect that up here. Has jumped is true, no exit time. Now, when falling, not just has jumped is false, that doesn't really matter. Is grounded is true is what matters. Let's remove that. Is grounded. Go back to idle. And we actually want to set is grounded to if we are grounded or not. Let's see what that does. As we jump. That seems fine. As we're sprinting, we can jump. Which looks fine. Still some jank, as we can see. But yeah, I don't know what's happening there. Like, sometimes when we are sprinting, it won't play. But here, it's very clear. Once we jump, we're good. Next, we can bring the player up to a pillar. And we'll jump off of it. And we keep lagging every time. Oh, there goes the slime. Oh, the shaders are bugging out as well. Okay, we jump off, and we're falling, and then we land. Honestly, it's not the worst animation. Once it's in-game, not the worst. Like, really heavy lag, for some reason. That's not an actual performance thing, by the way. That's just my game, like Unity bugging out. So it should be fine. Okay. Then the other thing would be if we're idle and we're no longer grounded, then we should start the falling animation. Now, I'm not sure what this is going to look like when going up ramps, because sometimes you're not grounded there. So let's see if that does anything. Doesn't look like it, so that's pretty good. Then what we want to do is also get the Y position and just go 100 and set, if I can. Can I not do that? Nope. It's lagging again. I don't know what's going on with my computer right now. Let me actually just check my task manager. See if anything's freaking out there. Doesn't look like it. Okay, let's quickly restart Unity then. Just to give it a clean refresh. So we'll do that. And we'll see if that fixes it. If that does, that's good. Because then we'll be able to leave it here. We did not get everything I wanted done. We got the jumping animation in, the falling animation, that's good. We fixed running. Then next stream, I guess, will be the capsule and aiming stuff. But let's see now. Let's put the player up 1,000 meters in the sky. And if we just hit play, we should just immediately have a falling animation, which we do, so that's good. And it's playing, so that's nice. Okay, yeah, definitely not the greatest animation, but does the job. It's still lagging, so I don't know what's going on there, but as we're running around, every time we jump, it does correctly update, so that's good. This lag is really getting annoying. Then we sprint, and then we jump, and that works most of the time. There's some times where it's not working, and I'm not sure what's going on there. Every other time, though, it is working. So that's good. Let's put the player back to the ground. And I do just want to check why that might not be happening. Every time, if you're grounded and you press the jump button, has jumped is true. And the moment it is true, it does not matter when we're setting it to false, because in the animator, we're going back from falling if we're grounded. Okay. It might be skipping it. That could be what's happening. If you're grounded, or if you're not grounded, sorry, and you haven't jumped, we could do that. That would probably fix it, I imagine. Assuming the lag isn't going to be bad. Wonder if that did not work. I wonder if we play it maximized, if that's going to do any difference. I doubt it, because it should just be a larger screen, but we'll see. Oh, it's smooth, so that works, I guess. Okay, so now, as we're sprinting, every time we jump... Okay, no, it's definitely bugging out sometimes. Let's go ahead. Let's play this unfocused so I can have a look at what's happening in the scene view. And what we'll do is we'll pop that out. Put scene view back here. Okay. So as we're sprinting, we jump. Okay, here we go. So sometimes the arms are like swinging backwards when we jump. I don't actually even know why that is happening. That is very strange. Because we don't have a single animation that does that. Like, jumping animation is very clear. It goes up. It does not go backwards. Falling is already up. Running animation, there's only one animation here. And that's swinging. And then idle. It's fine. Now, it's only happening when we're sprinting, so it has to be something to do with when we're running. And I'm not sure what that would be. Like, running, it should launch up. Which it does. And we don't have any exit time, which means it goes immediately. The moment you start running and you jump, you're going to play the jump animation. So that should be fine. I'm really not too sure why that's happening, but it's, I guess, a bug for another day, because it works, right? And again, we're going to redo the animations anyway, so it's not like that matters much. Okay. Well, we got our jumping animations in for our placeholder arms, so that's good. Might rename this one, frankly. Placeholder arms, because I'm going to redo the entire controller when I can. But yeah, so that'll be it for today. In the next stream, which should be this weekend, I want to get the capsule models in. We're gonna make them, texture them, all that, and then hopefully, if we have some time, get some of the aiming done. We have 4 animations left to do. The first one will be essentially starting to aim, so grabbing the capsule and holding it up. The second will be the loop of actually aiming. The third would be throwing the capsule, and that's going to have some extra gameplay functionality, where when we throw the capsule, it will actually throw a capsule, and then pretty much about probably about half a second or so after you throw it, then the slime will basically launch from the capsule. Slime's in the capsule, and then it will jump out. So that'll be tied to that animation. We'll try to link that up. And then we'll just have putting the capsule back down. So if you hold right click, it starts aiming. Let go of right click, it's going to stop aiming, so it's going to put the capsule back down. And while we're holding right click as well, I think we'll allow you to change between the selected slime, but you'll have to replay the grabbing the capsule animation. So we'll do that as well. Not sure if we'll get all of that done in next stream, but we'll try, we'll see. And then once the animations and models are done, I'm going to tie together the devlog video, and then we'll be able to finally get started on the level and actually making things look nice. And we'll get started on the first region / zone, which will be kind of a meadows, mushroom area, will be green. Pretty much like a normal starting zone in any main survival game. Like a safe zone, basically. But that'll be for the future. For now, we'll head out and we'll get those remaining animations done next stream. So I'll see you all then.